Yo, what's the deal? It's your boy, the Kid Blast. We up here at FireHouse Studios for another episode of FireHouse Ignite. Got a special guest with us today, Lil Eazzyy in the house.
Oh,
How's it going, my boy?
good, bro. Chilling.
How you been, man? How's everything going out there for you?
Everything been going good, bro. Just working, getting this music done, Ready
Definitely.
to drop this project.
When you think about dropping this project?
I'm thinking top of the year, like January, as soon as everything open back up after the holidays and shit, come strong, top of the year. And then I'm probably drop like 3 projects next year in total. I'm coming hard next year for sure.
Yeah, I feel that you just came off that Bandits release and that Schroeder joint.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. Who produced those?
Damn, who did produce the Bandits? I did Bandits probably in 2023. So that was, 2 years ago? I was in Atlanta. And I was in a deep, I was just in a deep lock-in, bro. I was making songs every day, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't even remember who made it, but that shit is hard. And then the song I did before that, Shadur, I made back then. A lot of the stuff that I've been dropping recently been a lot of old shit that I've been catching up and dropping because I haven't been dropping for the last 2 years and shit like that. So I'm kind of catching back up. But the shit that's dropping in January gonna be all new shit.
Okay. So yeah, how many releases you got left, you think, of some of the stuff you've been sitting on?
Some of the stuff I've been sitting on, I probably got like maybe one more release. A lot of the shit that I drop that I don't plan on releasing on all platforms, I go straight to SoundCloud. So if you go to SoundCloud, you'll see a lot of my throwaways, the shit that I probably wanted to drop but didn't drop, etc., shit like that. So my SoundCloud is like a fucking galore easy, bro. You want to find some unreleased easy, you go there, bro.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm glad people are still using SoundCloud. I fuck with SoundCloud.
Yeah, that shit.
I've always been a user of that platform. I guess I wanted to start off before the fame, before On a Come Up blew up. Who was Lil Eazzyy on a regular day in Chicago? What did life look like?
Before On a Come Up, Easy on a regular day, I'm probably just kicking it with my homies, getting high, bro. Making music in the crib, just chilling with the guys, hooping. Shit, that's really it, bro. Just regular kid in the streets, just chilling, bro. I'm with the guys, bulling, smoking, selling some weed, regular shit. And then, towards the end of my high school years and shit like that, I was just taking music over serious because I didn't really want to, go to college or nothing like that. So I'm just in the studio daily, really. I don't know. I really knew I had that shit as far as rapping just because everybody kind of just let me know, like, yo, bro, your shit hard. So I'm like, fuck it. I might as well stay in the stew, really see how this shit go. And as I start getting the reps in.
How old was you around that time when that started?
I was like 17, 18.
Okay. Nice.
So as I'm getting them reps in, I'm locking in with my engineer I had just met at 17. I'm going to his crib every day after school, making shit, making music. Then I'm back with the homies, smoking, kicking it, going to school the next day. Regular shit.
I know you said you bounced between parent houses as a kid.
Yeah.
Never feeling like you had a true home. How did that instability force your mindset early on?
It ain't really that I felt like I ain't have a true home, but it was just like, everybody want 2-parent household, you know what I'm saying? So that could kind of fuck with you mentally, but it ain't really fuck with me too much as I got older and shit like that. I'm still cool with both of my parents. Both of my parents still cool with each other. We just, it's just 2 separate households. That's just how life is, bro, sometimes. But
for sure.
After I got older and shit like that, everything was smooth. Everything was cool for real.
That's what's up. I read somewhere that your pops was a sheriff.
Yeah.
At the same time that you was, dabbling.
He's still a sheriff.
How did that? Was there ever like a conflict between y'all because of that, or?
Nah, it ain't gonna ever be no conflict like that with me or anybody in my family. Like we could hash anything out if we got something, some type of disagreement or whatever. But of course, he ain't really like me rapping and shit like that. But it really wasn't nothing he could do. I'm good at it. I'm getting notoriety from it. People noticing me from it, and then after a while, there wasn't shit he could say. I had got a deal, you know what I'm saying? So he couldn't do nothing but respect it. But, he's still proud of me and all that. Like, it wasn't really no, confrontation or nothing like that. He knew what I was on. He knew I was in the streets. He knew I was kicking around my homies, getting high, smoking weed outside. He knew what I was on. So me and my pops, we've been cool regardless.
That's what's up. That's dope. I'm glad, y'all let any petty shit get between y'all family and shit.
Hell nah.
I noticed that one of the big themes in your music is like betrayal.
Yeah.
What's the worst betrayal that you've ever experienced?
I done been through a lot of betrayal, bro. I done had friends not backdoor me, but you know, go behind my back and do some sneaky shit like that. I don't know. It's just me as a person. I'm a genuine, thorough nigga, so I'll be genuine and thorough to anybody I meet, no matter who you is, you know. And they say, you know, when you a little too nice, that leaves a door open for people to get disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like when you too nice and shit like that. So I don't know. I feel like I was just too genuine and thorough of a nigga when people used to, you know, do shit that I wouldn't do necessarily. That should have thrown me off, as any human would. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the betrayal and shit come from. Friends, family, anything. But I think the worst shit, I don't know. I think one of my mans, he was telling motherfuckers that I'd do their feature. Stacking bread. Somebody hit me in the DM like, yeah, bro, I ain't get my feature from you. I'm like, what the fuck you mean you didn't get your feature from me, bro? I don't even know who the fuck you are. They like, yeah, your manager hit me. I'm my manager.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, it had been a lot of
honestly though, like that's not the first time I heard of that scheme. Like that shit is actually pretty frequent. Honestly, like people think that they talking to the right person.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and it's hard because you know it's hard to get in touch with artists directly because, and they love to use management as like a filter for that process. But it's like you got to really know who's management and who's not. You know what I'm saying? Because
when I was 18, shit, I wasn't even paying attention to nothing like that. But
yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, what it is.
So I'm guessing y'all had a fallout then as a result of that.
Yeah, we had a fallout, but like I said, I'm a genuine, thorough nigga. I believe in forgiveness, bro. You know, like I can hash it out with a motherfucker. We ain't gotta be the best of homies after that shit, obviously. But you know, I can hash it out with a motherfucker. Be like, hey, bro, you knew that shit was flawed. You knew that shit was wrong. Okay, cool. We know where we at. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. I respect that. So On a Come Up is your breakout song. Walk me through the moment you decided to finish it after that snippet blew up. What kind of doubts did you have? You know what I'm saying, when you was working on that?
I ain't had no doubts at all, bro. That's one thing, bro. You can't have no doubts in nothing that you do. It don't matter what opinions you get. I have my parents going against me 24/7 saying this is not some shit you should be doing. Fuck all that shit. Do that shit, live your life, gang. Like, don't let nobody tell you that you can't do shit. So I ain't really had no doubts. I had linked up with my manager and shit. My manager drove 14 hours from Connecticut all the way to the rack. Came to the rack. This was after I shot the freestyle and shit. He like, yeah, we finna shoot the video for this. I'm like, bet. So, but yeah, after I shot the snippet or whatever, right after that we went to go finish it. I knew that shit was gonna have to drop regardless, and we was dumping money into our marketing and shit like that, just doing everything ourselves. So
that's what's up.
We ain't leave no option for error, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit getting dropped, we're gonna put the money behind it, we're gonna make sure this shit do what it needs to do. That was kind of the game plan at that point.
And it did what it needed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's up, man. And that's dope to see, like, a strategy planned and executed, you know what I'm saying? Like, in real time. A lot of up and coming artists be afraid to take that gamble on themselves and
anything you do in life, bro, really you gotta have some type of plan, bro.
Or they just drop music without no marketing behind it, etc. How did G Herbo end up on that remix?
I had just signed, and they asked me who did I want to get on the come up, and I instantly said her, because that was my favorite artist of all time, bro. That's still my favorite artist. That nigga hard. So that shit was crazy to me, because a year ago before that, you know, I'm listening to Herb shit every day, trying to make my own shit and figure out how I'm finna come as a rapper and shit like that. So for a year later to have him on my song, that shit was nuts.
That's some full circle shit, right?
That shit man, that's the best way to explain it.
That's dope as hell that happened like that. You say you basically made close to 240 songs between 20 and 21, but only 40 made albums. What did you do with the rest? You didn't put all of that on SoundCloud, did you?
I ain't gonna lie, that's a lot of. I got like 300 and some songs on SoundCloud, and that ain't even half of the shit that I haven't dropped. So yeah, a lot of that, like when I was going through the rough patch with my label, not dropping this shit like that, I was making sure my fans got something. If you a true hardcore Eazzyy fan, you know on my SoundCloud I got merch I've been dropping shit since 2022, just unreleased shit. So, and a lot of that shit then went crazy. So yeah, a lot of that shit I either put on SoundCloud or that shit getting tough. But I'm glad I took a lot of it. I done grown a lot from when I first started making On the Come Up and shit like that in 2020, making music around that time. I done grown a lot as far as like lyrically and just my delivery and everything and what I'm talking about and all of that. So I feel like everything happened for a reason. So I ain't really dropped a lot for the last 2 years, but it's gonna change soon.
Do you feel like now that you've grown as an artist, is it hard for you to listen to the younger you?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. At times it is hard to listen to, just because my voice lighter. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't really doing some of the shit that I was doing back then, type
Right.
shit. But it's cool every now and then to listen to the shit that you did as a kid and was like, damn, bro, like that was 5 years ago, you
Right,
know,
right.
and to see where you at now. So yeah, that shit's cool.
Um, I guess you left Atlantic. You signed with Atlantic, and then you eventually left them. Is that kind of what's going on?
They dropped me.
Okay.
They dropped me because we couldn't get to a middle ground on a lot of the shit we was dropping. They kind of like they wanted to go a certain route, and I wanted to go a certain route as far as the music that we was dropping, the type of music we was dropping, shit like that. The image that we was about to, put out there for the world. We were on two different, so it was in the best of both interests for me to just get dropped and I can go, venture off elsewhere and figure out how I'm gonna do it, whether I go independent or whatever.
Was that frustrating for you? So, what was the difference in visions? Like, what was your vision and what was their vision?
Their vision was more so mainstream sounding music, shit that can be
Marketed to younger audience.
everybody.
Okay, I see.
You know what I'm saying? But when I go in the studio, everything is genuine and authentic. When I go in there, I listen to the beats for the first time. I make what I'm writing for the first time. I go in there and I got a whole process of how I do shit. And I don't know. If I don't like the song or if I feel like, the song that everybody's thinking about dropping ain't something that I necessarily like, I ain't gonna drop it. And we just gonna clash on it until we figure out a compromise. And if we don't figure out a compromise, then shit gets delayed. And that's how I didn't drop for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you shouldn't let people control what you built from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? It's your shit. You the one that's going in the studio every day making this shit. I don't feel like you should let motherfuckers steer you in the direction that they want you to go. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when they're not responsible for you getting to that point. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So it's like, how you gonna let them dictate?
If I went the route that they wanted to go and that shit flopped, it would have been my fault.
Right. Um, were you still dropping music on that SoundCloud during this time? Or they wouldn't let you do
Once
that
we started bumping heads, that's when I'm like, I don't know how this shit finna go. I'm finna start dropping shit on SoundCloud. And it's crazy because a lot of the shit that I was dropping on SoundCloud was shit that I wanted to drop with the label and they wouldn't let me drop it. And that shit was going 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 views with no promo at all. I wasn't letting people know I was dropping on SoundCloud. I wasn't posting about it. I wasn't making no stories, none of that shit. That shit was just going off general strength. So that was just an indication to me, like, all right, if they don't see this shit and it's getting put in their face, we obviously got to part ways. So it wasn't really I didn't feel no bad blood towards it. If anything, I felt like it was a blessing. Like, y'all let me go scot-free and it's just, we just part ways and that's just what it is.
You spoke on making $60K a month independently after investing only $1K. Walk me through that business pivot. What were the keys and where did you miss that?
Let me straighten that up. When On the Come Up dropped and that shit started going crazy, the first 2 months that I got some real revenue from my United Masters account, they were two $60,000 checks. That's when I moved to Atlanta. I got all my peoples with me. I made sure everybody was straight, made sure my peoples was straight, shit like that. So investing wasn't really in my vocabulary at that time. I'm 18. I just got everything I wanted, bro. I'm about to treat everybody that was around me, that came up with me, that stuck with me through this process. We about to go have some fun, and whatever the fuck happens, happens. That's just the mindset that I was in at 18.
Facts. How did that collab with NLE Chopper come about?
Shout out my boy Chop Squad DJ. He had put me through. It was a point in time where I was locking in with Chop Squad. Probably like once or twice a week. We was just making some hard shit. That's how we ended up coming out with that tape, Too Easy. And he just plugged me in. I had made a song, and then I think he sent it over and seen if he was fucking with it. And NLE Chopper fucked with it, and then he got on it, and then I got on his tour right after.
Nice, that's dope.
Yeah.
How many cities did y'all do?
22. I think I missed one. Cause I fucking truck broke down.
Damn.
Lame
What
shit.
happened? Where was that? Where did it break down at?
Fucking bro, it broke down in fucking the middle of Pennsylvania. We got a pop tire. We're in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I was blue, bro, because I think our next city was all the way in Minnesota.
Shit.
Yeah, so I'm like, we either finna get a flight and we gotta find our way to the airport right now, make sure there's a flight there, and shit, it was too much. So we skipped that Minnesota show and then we went right to Phoenix right after.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Many call your sound Chicago drill, but you cite Drake and Michael Jackson as huge influences. How do they influence your sound?
I don't think they influence my sound, but I'm just a big fan of good music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't listen to drill every day. I can't listen to rap every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Growing up with my pops, he's an older type of pops, you know what I'm saying? So we listening to old school shit and shit like that. That's what I grew up off of. So that's good music to me. I wouldn't say that it inspired my sound, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's why I try to like, when I go in the studio, I don't try to stay in one sub genre of rap, if that makes sense. I don't want to just stay in drill, or I don't want to just do auto tune. I like to mix it up. I like to see what I can create. Just put my creativity to the test when I go to the studio. So sometimes it come out hard. Sometimes it might not come out as hard as I envisioned it. But you know, you put them shots up. That's all it is.
That's dope. I definitely fuck with that. I definitely like artists that aren't afraid to switch lanes and, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
touch all kind of different fan bases. I know you've spoken about building both business and friendship with Chop Squad. DJ, how did you guys lock in?
I think we just had a studio session. My label set it up. He came with some beats and shit, and we made Forever Been Stepping. And after that song, you know, it was genuine connection, you know. It was bro. Made some hard shit, got up again. He got real cool with my man's Fats. And we just used to kick it, bro. We used to create and figure it out. But it's crazy because that first studio session we did, Forever Been Stepping, that song got pitched on Need for Speed.
Nice.
The most recent one. Yeah.
That's dope.
That shit was hard.
How do you draw the line between keeping relationships real and keeping them transactional?
Damn, that's a good question. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, that shit all intuition, bro. And if I'm keeping it a whole buck, I feel like you can feel if a person genuine, you can feel if some shit off. And even if you don't feel it the first time, you know, I feel like God give you them signs when a motherfucker off, or when a relationship just needs to be transactional. I don't know. I think that's just something you feel in your gut. But I don't go out my way to make a relationship non-transactional if, you know, I don't know them for real or nothing like that. Like, I don't know, it just gotta happen type shit. But any relationship that's non-transactional for me, that's either family or, you know, my real close homies. I don't really let a lot of people have relationships with me like that.
I feel that.
Too many motherfucking energies.
Nah, I definitely feel that. Who do you think is the most underrated artist in Chicago right now?
In Chicago right now, probably my brother, man, SME Drip.
Okay.
That nigga is hard. If
There you go.
if
Check
you
him
watching
out.
this
Check him
interview,
out.
go tap in with SME Drip. Who else? Mari Bucks. I'm in this YouTube video, I'm gonna put they ats in the comment section. Y'all tap in with them two artists. They fucking hard.
Bet. Who do you think is the most overrated artist right now?
I ain't gonna say nobody overrated. Everybody got their shit out the mud. Everybody came in and, you know, did their shit. However they got it, you know? And
I feel that.
I fuck with all the artists from the rag. Chucky, Fatso, everybody from the rag, I fuck with it. I'm a real city cat, so I fuck with everybody from out here.
I feel that. What's one artist that you haven't worked with yet that you really want to work with?
Hurricane Wisdom. Hurricane Wisdom is fucking tough. I ain't gonna lie. I think that's probably the next collab I want to do if I do a collab. Hurricane Wisdom or Huncho.
Okay. That's what's up.
Or Baby Chief Do It.
Shout out Baby Chief Do It.
Shout out Baby Chief Do It. That nigga hard.
That would be lit. That would definitely go up for
That'll
sure.
go crazy.
I know that show will go crazy for sure.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. I appreciate you for sliding on us.
Yeah, appreciate you for having me, my boy.
If you want, go ahead and shout out your socials. Let everybody know where they can find
Follow
you.
me on Instagram, Lil Eazzyy, 2Z's, 3Y's. Everything else, 2Z's, 2Y's. So Twitter, Snap, whatever. But Instagram, 2Z's, 3Y's. So, yeah. Go ahead and follow. I'm dropping some shit soon. I'm dropping Chomp. Y'all gonna see it on FireHouse Studios. Come and take January. So
There you
stay
go.
tuned.
Let's
Hit the
do it.
SoundCloud. It's in my bio.
It's a vault in the SoundCloud. Go
It's a
check that
fucking
shit out.
vault.
I'm your boy, the Kid Blast. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. We'll catch y'all next time.